watching this video, be sure to take the short questionnaire. This helps to make sure our videos and lessons are the best that they can be. If you haven't already, pause this video and go to the link. Complete the questions and come back when you're ready to continue the video. Hi, my name is Victoria and I work with Caesar at the University of Memphis. All right, let's get started. Have you ever wondered where the water that you drink comes from? Take a moment to think about that. Before we dive into discussing our water in Memphis, let's review the water cycle. As you know, the water cycle is a never-ending natural cycle that all the water on Earth goes through to be reused again and again. Where should we start this process? How about evaporation? During the process of evaporation, surface water is heated by the sun into water vapor. So then what happens after that? Right, up next is condensation. All of this water vapor condenses to form clouds. After that, once enough water vapor has condensed, it becomes heavier and heavier, and it falls to the ground. We call this precipitation, rain, and of course, when it's colder, snow or sleet or hail. Now, let's get back to my original question. Where does your drinking water come from? The water we use in Memphis, West Tennessee, and the areas around us comes from underground. This water is stored in natural aquifers, with the largest being the Memphis Aquifer. An aquifer is a layer of sediment, usually sand or rocks, that holds water. We call this groundwater. Get it? Water that is naturally stored underground. Groundwater. Think about the closest park. You may see grass, rocks, or pavement. Below all of that is a thick layer of gravel that makes up a shallow aquifer that we don't drink from. Below the gravel, there's a layer of clay. This clay layer is what protects our aquifer from things like pollution. Underneath the clay is sand. The groundwater is actually held inside the sandy layer, where water droplets collect in between the sand particles. Imagine a sandbox that gets rained on. Our aquifer is an amazing resource that provides all the water we need, and the water inside of it is incredibly clean. So, how do we get the water out? Water from the aquifer is pumped out through wells. Those are pipes that are connected to pumps. The pumps create flow, which causes the water to rise up through the pipes to the surface. It's then lightly cleaned by a water treatment plant and sent out to be used by the community, including your house. Now, how does the water get back into the aquifer? If we're only pumping water out, wouldn't we eventually run out? Think about your phone or other electronics. What happens at the end of the day when you've been using it all day long? You plug it in and you recharge it. To get water back into the aquifer, it needs to be recharged with rain. There is a water cycle process for this called infiltration. Rain infiltrates down into the ground to recharge groundwater. Do you think the rain can get through all those layers of gravel, clay, and sand? I mean, it can, but it takes a very, very long time, hundreds of years. But there's a special area in West Tennessee where the sand aquifer reaches the ground surface. That is where the rainwater can filter in quickly. We call this the recharge zone. Because the Memphis aquifer is such an amazing resource and, our drinking water supply, we need to do our best to protect it from pollution. The aquifer's clay layer has thin spots or gaps. This makes it vulnerable to pollution because there's a direct connection between the land's surface and our sandy Memphis aquifer. Look at this graphic here. This shows what would happen if a barrel of waste leaked underground. As you can see, the waste that seeps into the shallow aquifer would be stopped by the clay layer, and the Memphis aquifer below it would be safe. But if there's a gap in the clay, like this one, then the waste would reach the sandy layer and contaminate the water. To keep pollutants away from the aquifer, there are some things you can do to help. Dispose of your trash correctly. Limit the chemicals being used on your lawn and make sure all chemicals at home, like paint and oil, are taken to the proper facilities. Let's review what we've discussed so far. We've talked about the parts of the water cycle: evaporation, condensation, precipitation, and infiltration. We then covered the Memphis Aquifer, which is our source of water here in Shelby County. And finally, we talked about the importance of protecting the aquifer from things like pollution to keep it clean. Now that you've finished the video, go to this link and complete one more questionnaire to see what you've learned. If you'd like to create your own Aquifer in a Cup, then go to part 2 of this series. Thank you for learning with me today.